Hey guys!
Howdy!
What's up and welcome back or to the Roomies Digest.
Whoa!
It's like I say the same thing every intro.
No, I'm just amazed that I did it at a similar unison sound.
Honestly, I think that you could probably...
Don't even start it. If you put another challenge in the comments, I'm a
I think you could, I was gonna say, I think you could honestly do it in the same cadence as me.
Let's try it.
Okay.
Hey guys, I'm Christine. No? Okay, do it one more time.
It's a little low energy.
Do it.
You want me to do it?
I just need to hear it one more time fresh.
Okay, ready? Hey guys! What's up? Welcome back or to the Roomies Digest. My name's Christine.
I'm Monique. Howdy.
And today we're going to be doing
our summer wrap up.
All right, now from the top.
Hey guys, what's up?
Howdy.
I'm Christine.
I'm Monique.
And welcome back or to the Roomies Digest.
Howdy.
Okay, so it's not what's up. You
yeah.
added that. Can I just do it
Go ahead.
it when you do it like at the same time?
Okay, your specialty is literally mimicking in the moment.
Yeah, it's not good to. I could do it, but I need to hear it in my ear. You know?
It's honestly a special talent that you have. The way that Monique will mimic a person.
I don't know if I'm that talented.
Maybe it's just me because you know me so well.
I can do people I know well enough. Like one day, someone else will be added into the fold. When will that happen? The day I'm not single. Just kidding.
Bum bum
Da 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 da.
bum bum.
Da.
Okay, so anyway, you guys know from that crazy intro, we are doing our summer, aka June and July wrap-ups.
Because, you know,
I mean, I was gone for pretty much the end of June / early July. So you guys know we've been going through some stuff with our personal lives, and you know, we just got busy.
We got busy, you know, and sometimes you gotta consolidate.
Yeah.
And this is the perfect way because June, July really was 1 month, really, when you think about it.
Yeah.
June, July was what it's actually called in the Gregorian calendar. So
Okay.
June, July, it's a new phenomenon. It's called June, July.
It's called, what sucks is that even if you put
June,
the
July.
beginning, you know what I mean? Like the beginning of June with the end of July, it's still July. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's June, July.
July.
It's this fast moving moment. And we're glad to be able to recap, rewrap, bring that
back
experience to
this
you
channel.
all.
That's right. Jokes.
Speaking of jokes, look what Christine got us.
Hello.
It's
me.
I don't know the word. We should pick a song from a song
We're
picker.
having stage
We
fright.
have new mics we want to use.
We should do that again.
Listen to me. Listen.
October 2020.
Listen to me here.
The Roomies Digest has done their first video.
No? Okay.
No idea. Why are you hiding it from me?
I'm scared. Oh God, we can't do this.
Is it?
All right, everyone. We tried to sing in this mic, but we have no songs.
I'll be
here when it's over.
your crying
over. Maybe we should just pull out the mic when the song comes to us naturally. All right, stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Like, is mine off? I can't tell. All right, so let's get into the wrap up. First and foremost, let's go over book clubs and, you know, all the things that we read that we already put on the internet that you guys probably know about. First and foremost, we've got Classic Literature Book Club, okay? We read in June The Half-Orc's Maiden Bride. And what a time to be alive. Who was the standout character? Turnip. That's right.
We are filing an official appeal to Ruby Dixon to just go ahead and set aside a set of books focusing on Turnip's life, her ambitions, and
how did she get here to this novella?
Yeah, because honestly, standout character personally for me.
Right.
Had a great time.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 would recommend for Turnip.
Literally hilarious.
I think I've mentioned this before, but yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. And I enjoyed this novella. It was a fun little break, I think, in the cringy book club read.
Yeah, it was lighthearted.
Yeah, very
mostly.
lighthearted, fun time.
It was like a little teddy bear, you know?
Yeah, how did you feel about the monster rep in this one?
I didn't even really think too much about it.
Oh, nice. I love to hear it.
They didn't seem too monstery.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Well, I guess he's a half orc.
He's a half.
He's a half orc and a half person.
I thought he was a half another type of monster.
I thought it was a human.
No, I thought his mom was like another type of like elf or something.
I don't quite remember. Anyway, it was a fun time. So we read that. Would you rate it?
I'll give it like 4 stars.
Yeah, so I'd say it's like a 3.54, something like that. And then this one,
365.
you guys remember 365?
Damn, she's fine.
Ooh, shake it to me one more time.
Get
low. To the window.
To the wall.
To the wall. To the sweat that down my balls. All these bitches crawl. All ski motherfucker. All ski god darn. All ski motherfucker. All ski god darn.
In the hole. In the hole.
Now 11 times in.
Can I?
Yeah, so 365.
This is gonna be great to pull out for any song interruptions I have come up. But yes, 365 by Blanka Lipinska.
I give it a 2.
Yeah.
But I do want to continue and know what happens next. I will be watching the movies. What does that say about me?
I think honestly, my reason I just wasn't feeling it, I think it was just honestly how it was translated. Because I really could see the potential. And I could see why it's a best-selling, internationally best-selling. I feel like it makes sense.
Yeah, because the plot was interesting to me.
The passion was there for me.
Right.
It was just after a while, things started getting a little repetitious. And
yes.
I think that is kind of, what'd you say? Stilted was the word?
Did I say that?
That might have been for another book. We talk about books a lot.
But yeah. It was definitely repetitive.
Yeah.
Yes. Not fergalicious. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yes.
If you guys are interested in seeing the sprints for Clears Your Book Club, I'm going to go ahead and link the Half Work Maiden Bride on my channel. And then also if you're interested in 365 Days, you can find that on Lala Loves Lit on Jayla's channel. So yeah, you can click that link if you're interested. And then as far as fantasy series goes, we read Jade City and Jade War. You guys know that I love these 2 books. It was a fun time, a good time. If you guys are interested in these live shows, I'm first gonna link Jade City up above. And now I will link Jade War. This is quickly becoming one of my favorite fantasy series ever.
I personally have only read Jade City. I'm currently on page 1 of Jade War. But
can't wait.
I can't wait to also enjoy it.
Right.
And Jade City, I just think I just need to prepare my heart and mind, you know?
Jade War was not too
but like once
Jade
I get
Legacy
to the end,
is really gonna
yeah,
get us.
once I get to the end of Jade War, I'm gonna be like,
yeah, the tea has been spilled. If you guys are interested in fantasy series, it is a fantasy book club where we read finished, completed fantasy series, 1 book per month until the series is finished. We read Jade Legacy last month. And actually will be having a special guest on the live show for Jade Legacy. I can finally talk about it because it has been confirmed, like email confirmed. The date has been put in the calendar. On August 28th, Miss Fonda Lee is going to be joining us.
and I will have notes.
It's really
I will
crazy.
be in the comments ready.
It's really crazy.
I might even open the door.
See what you can do when you just believe. But yeah.
Me crashing it.
Well, you were on the first show, so you wouldn't be like crashing it. But it's going to be a fun time. If you guys want to see Miss Fonda Lee and ask any questions or just talk about the books and the wrap up of the series of the trilogy, then make sure that you tune in. And if you're really interested, make sure to join our Discord and you'll get all of the updates for the time, place, and everything for that live show. It's going to be a ton of fun. So that was a good time. I think I did 4.5 for both of these. I'm assuming the last one's going to be a 5 because I'm going to be crying. So
Jade City, 5-star for me.
We also did like a loose kind of like Instagram pride, like bingo board type situation. It really was just to get into the spirit of pride for June and read as many books as possible featuring LGBTQ plus characters, authors, stories, things like that. So that was the other kind of like readathon that we participated in. The first one I want to talk about is Mooncakes. This one you guys probably have already seen, heard of, know about. This basically just follows a super cute witch and a super cute werewolf who were best friends kind of like growing up and come together like later on in life. It's a very cute like little mystery because some things are happening in their town. They're trying to figure out what's going on. And it's got some really nice rep in it as well. So I really enjoyed this. I gave it 5 stars. It was just so freaking cute. And there's some baking in there. Another graphic novel that I picked up last month was A Quick and Easy Guide to Queer and Trans Identities. This was such an informational, just kind of like run through of different queer identities. And, you know, if you're a little unsure of how to address people or how to approach the subject of maybe like changing your pronouns or talking to someone who recently has changed their pronouns, this is like a very good guide to like the start of that. You know what I mean? Opening up the conversation and kind of like making it so that it's like easily accessible, I guess, information. Also has really cute graphics in here. Like the main character, one of them is a snail, and it's like the cutest thing ever. It does a really great job of just kind of explaining things that you might have questions about, or things that you didn't even know that you would have questions about, but like you should know about, if that makes sense. So highly recommend. Yeah, just like things to consider, like, you know. Anyway, if you're in the community or an ally or whatever. So 5 stars here. Obviously, it was a really fun time, very cute. And I love anything that can like give me information in a very easy, digestible way. Yeah, so this was highly recommend. This would be like on the level of Gender Explorers, if anyone is paying attention to those book suggestions. Yeah, exactly. And then the last kind of like graphic novel that I read, it was actually a memoir. It's the one that literally people are trying to get banned. It's the Genderqueer by Maya Kababe. Maya is recounting Air's like entire life, sort of, up until this point. I'm pretty sure that they are around like 28, 29 years old. I picked this up because obviously this was a book that was kind of being circulated recently, right? About being banned and being taken off shelves. While I do see that, because there are some like kind of like graphic images as far as like sexual reproductive information, for me it's nothing new because I'm a woman and we actually have to go through these things called periods. But other than that, I mean, I think it was really informational, and I think it was a really nice memoir of seeing Maya's like POV, like just her life, you know what I mean? I don't really know like much else to say about this because it's a memoir, so it's like judging a person's life, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like you really can't do it, but I did find it highly informational and I really enjoyed reading it. Like I liked going through Maya's life and just kind of seeing the experiences. So yeah, I don't know. I highly recommend it, but I will say that there are like some graphic images. It does talk a lot about different sexualities, different identities, different things on the LGBTQIA scale, but it's not anything that was super offensive for me personally. I don't know. Do with that what you will. But
I think I've read this before.
Really?
I remember this image. Maybe I looked at it in a bookstore and was like,
I got it when we went to Pages, so maybe you looked at it then.
Maybe.
Yeah. But anyway, I highly recommend if you're interested in it. I thought it was a really great read. And we always want to kind of figure out why people want to ban things, I think. So there you go.
And I ended up reading Weekend by Jane Eaton Hamilton. It follows 2 lesbian couples that go off to a cabin for a weekend, and it's kind of drama filled because it's like one of the couples is an ex to the other, if that makes sense. So it's like automatically drama.
Oh so no, you talked about this book a while ago. Yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, so I was enjoying it. I ended up giving it a 3.5 just because it seemed like it was a little short for me. Like I feel like I could take a little bit. Could have used a little bit more. But I mean, it was spicy. I feel like it was a good book overall. But like I think I just could have been like 30 more pages, you know? Okay. So, but yes, Weekend. Yes, it's based in Canada, Ontario. Little cottage. That's the vibe.
I'll go ahead and talk about 2 books that I didn't like. One, I unhauled. Actually, I unhauled both of them. Okay, so first of all, Meet Cute Diary. I picked this up because it looked super cute. The premise looked super cute. But essentially, I've talked about it before on the channel. Basically, this young person is like a Tumblr poster and they are writing about these meet cutes between trans couples. Like they're just like basically like acting like an anonymous source.
Yes.
And writing about these meet cutes. And it was such a cute premise. I was like, yes, even if it's not real, I'll believe it. You know what I mean? Like, whatever.
I can eat it up.
Yeah, I'll eat it up. But then the story went a little left because they like end up fake dating someone, and it gets like a little messy, and kind of the plot of the book just went like sideways. Yeah, like it didn't like make sense to me. There was a little bit of like insta love, which I'm not a fan of, but I am trying to like be gracious with this story because it is a YA. But I truly don't think it was because it was a YA that I didn't like it. I think it was literally because the plot just went zooby dooby doo to the left and out the window, down the street, away. You get what I'm saying? Like, it was just not it for me. That being said, I think I rated it like a 3, maybe even a 2.5, because I did end up finishing it. Like, I wanted to see how it ended, but then the end was also abrupt. I was like, what's happening? What is going on? So anyway, that was that book. And then the other book that I was not a fan of, and this is gonna break some hearts. It was a Dowry of Blood. Yeah. Yeah. I went in thinking that this was gonna be a spicy, like, reverse harem time. What I got was a story about grief, and a story about beating your oppressor, and a story about getting away from your abuser. And I am not saying that I don't like those kind of stories. I actually love those kind of stories. Grief is very interesting to me. I love reading stories about it. But because my expectations were up here at the harem spicy level, I was let the hell down, unfortunately. Okay. So that being said, it also was a very short book. And I think because I've read Dracula in the last 3 years, I was like, this is like Dracula, like literally, but from the women's POV, which is fine. I don't know. I just was expecting it to be more. I don't really know how else to describe it.
Yeah.
It was an okay time. My headspace wasn't in it. I don't know. What can you say? I don't know.
It wasn't for you.
Yeah, I mean, it was a 3. Like, I finished it.
Yeah.
I wasn't actively hating it, but I wasn't actively liking it.
Yeah.
So, what's worse than being middle of the road? I guess not caring at all.
Hating it.
Yeah, hating it. Giving it a 0 stars.
Yeah.
But I did like the ending. Like, I thought it was interesting. I just kind of thought it was a little cliche. That's all I'm going to say. So those are the 2 books that I wasn't like super big fans of. But I will tell you guys about the 3 books that knocked it out of the park in June. Like, I'm talking, you all need to read these books immediately.
I'm sorry, no.
Okay, so number 1, you guys know I'm a huge fan of Chloe Leese, okay? Live and breathe Chloe Leese. I'm reading an arc by her right now. I'm having such a good time. Like, everything Chloe Leese writes, I am automatically buying. I'm automatically reading. I am automatically her number 1 fan girl. That being said, everything for you, male romance, age gap romance, soccer, anxiety rep. Mic drop. This book was so good, y'all. This book was so good. Like, look how many tabs I put in there. That's crazy for a romance. I was like eating this book the freak up. Like, don't want to curse, but like,
you don't want to curse.
This book was so good. Ooh, this is so good. Okay. Grumpy Sunshine trope. So Oliver is the Bergman brother that we follow in this one. He is like the 3rd youngest Bergman, okay? He has just signed on to a professional soccer league, like team. And he's basically like the new guy, obviously. Like, he's the youngest guy, whatever. So enter the old guy. Not the old guy. He's not the old guy, but he's the oldest member of the team, okay? He's like 35. He's had lots of surgeries. He's like on his last leg of like being on the soccer team. He feels
like Ted Lasso.
Yeah, like Ted Lasso. He feels like he's being replaced by Oliver. So there's obviously a little bit of competition there. And y'all, when I say this spicy mother effing tomato was so spicy, tell y'all, this was so damn good. Y'all gotta read this. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you because I know you're gonna.
I was like thinking.
I hasn't read a single Bergman brother, but you will be reading that one. Okay, so that one, so much fun. Highly recommend. 5 stars, 4 stars, 4.5, all the stars. Let's give it to him. Second book, The Romantic.
I was trying to find that one on the shelf.
Yeah, I read
it. You had that stowed away. Ooh, I can't stand it.
You can read this one next.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so The Romantic Agenda. Now, this one is so much fun because Joy is a 30-year-old, 30 flirty, an ace, okay, baby? She is a fine, spicy tomato. This girl is working hard for her best friend, who she's in love with.
What do we do?
Okay, so her best friend is like, yo, I want to go on this lake trip and I'm going to take my new girlfriend. I want you to come. And Joey's like,
I'm going to take my new friend.
No, she said, this is my chance to tell you that I love you and you should not be with, you know, whoever. I forget the girl's name.
I thought she faked state.
Anyway, so
okay.
the girlfriend brings her best friend, who is a man. And his name is Fox, a salt and pepper fine. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fine man. Who is broody, a little broody, but he notices things about Joy, okay? Things that her best friend doesn't even notice. So then I said, is this really your best friend, Joy? Because he is really not living up to the hype. There's a little jealousy trope, fake dating trope. It is a fun time. And I really love this one because this is ace rep.
Fully.
I mean, not like straight fully ace, like no like sexual anything, but this is a category of asexuality where Joy is ace, but she likes to be intimate, okay? So if you've read Ace, the nonfiction, then you know there are all different kinds of things in this umbrella of asexuality, right? So you can be, you know, aroused or not aroused. You can be romantically involved, not romantically involved. So there's all these different types of things. And I think that this book really, yeah, you hold it. This book really does a great job of showing you the complexities of asexuality. And I loved it. I was like, girl, this is spicy. Spicy, but nothing's happening.
I'm gonna read this today.
It was so good. Plus, I love the lake setting. Like, I don't know, I just had a really fun time with that. And Joy is unapologetic. Like, that girl does what she wants. Like, my hero. A hero to us all, Miss Joy. Okay, so that one, great book. Last but not least, y'all have got to read this book. If y'all read any of these books today, y'all need to read the
You're
Charm
telling me
Offensive.
I need to read Charm Offensive before
You need
Romantic
to read
Agenda?
These three top of the top. This is my new favorite romance.
What's the trope?
Let me tell you a little bit about Charm Offensive.
Is it like Bachelor?
So there's a reality TV show, and I had not picked up this book because of that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like that trope. Like, reality TV, get it out of my face. I don't like it, don't want to be around it. But let me tell you, it's about Dev, who is a PA on this reality TV show, right? He's like a PA. He does all the things, and I could really relate to that. I was like, wow, set life. Yes. 2, Charlie is a genius, billionaire, awkward, anxious, just contestant, right? So he's trying to find love, okay?
But he finds it elsewhere.
And what's crazy is Charlie thinks he's straight. He thinks he's straight, y'all. Anyway, so there are just like, from the very beginning of this book, their interactions, Dev and Charlie, are like the sweetest, most like considerate, spicy like times together. Like, I can't tell y'all, like the tension in this book, I was like, and then it came through in the end, okay? I was squealing.
So do they both think they're straight, or is this
Dev is a
show
gay man, okay? Dev knows that he's into men, and he in fact works with his ex. Drama, I know.
It always has, the ex has to show up for the drama to speed up quickly,
I mean,
you know?
yeah, and like
that, or like a best friend who really thinks, you know, that they know everything about you,
right?
And they're like, you aren't this way.
Yes.
Like, honey, no.
It was just so cute. It was so cute. And Dev and Charlie, really, they have like a friendship. This is like truly a friendship to lovers. And I really liked it. I don't really like friendship to lovers either, but every bad thing I didn't like about like the beginning of I was like, this is knocking it out of the park for me.
Okay, so it's friends to lovers done properly. Spicy.
Yeah, because the thing is, they don't even know that they like each other, but the chemistry between them,
they just assume they're good buddies.
Yeah, but like, and they feel it, and they're like, whoa, this is like my best friend, I guess. Like, damn, I really like vibe with this guy.
Let me hold this.
Yeah, it's very good. Like, highly recommend. Okay, so if y'all take anything,
who is Dev?
Dev is the Indian man on the front, and Charlie is the white man.
Well, I'm just trying to understand. In my brain, Dev was the billionaire. And then I got confused.
No. Charlie is the white man.
Okay.
Yeah. And Charlie, this is also a great book because it deals with a very well done anxiety rep. The anxiety rep in this book is probably some of the best anxiety rep I've ever read in my life. In a romance.
It's always thick, too.
It is a fun time. Like, I didn't even care about the reality TV shit trope. I was like, yes, it's really good.
Our girl who wrote
X-Doc.
Rachel.
Yeah, it's good. Anyway, highly recommend. That's what I'm gonna say.
I love getting books added at the end, like during the wrap.
Yeah, you're like, let me just put this on
Yeah,
you should pick them up tonight. Like, pick one of them and do it.
I will. Our internet's down, so we have plenty of time to read.
That's right. Okay, y'all, and I promise I'm gonna stop talking in just a second. I just want to go over the other two that I read. One, Barbarian's Choice. Okay, I worked a lot in June. Okay, that was over a month ago. And I was working in Long Beach, which is a long way away. So I started up Ice Planets again. And I know I told y'all I was on a hiatus, but let me tell you, when I'm going to set and it's at least an hour away, there is nothing better than listening to Ice Planet Barbarians on audio. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I was so hyped for this book. Oh! Okay, but anyway, this follows Farley, our youngest barbarian woman on the planet, and her love interest. Now, this book really changed the game, okay? If y'all are keeping up with barbarians, this is the book, I'm not going to spoil it, but this is the book where things get bigger, if you get what I'm saying. Like, the world, we think it's here, the world just got a whole lot bigger. So I love this book for that, and I'm just like, I'm having a good time, y'all. So anyway, y'all already know it was a 5-star.
So Farley finds a love in a different group of people.
I mean, I don't want to tell anything. But a whole new world opens up for Farley, and it is a fun time. I loved it. The barbarians, they never do me wrong.
Place I never knew.
But when I'm way up here, it's crystal clear that now I'm in a whole new world. Now I'm in a whole new world. Anyway, it was a fun time. And then the last book that I read in June was, this is a book that I've already mentioned as well. This is Our Rainbow, the 16 stories of he, him, her, they, them, us, all the good stuff. Basically 16 short stories, just detailing different lives in the LGBTQ plus community. And it was great. It was cute. Had a couple little graphic novels in there. One of my favorite ones at the back. And I did recently unhaul that, but I gave it to the YMCA. So for their Pride, community library. Yeah, because it just was so cute. Highly recommend that one too. I read a lot of good, graphic novels and informational texts about, just the community that we're a part of. So, and that was it for June. Besides,
Read or Dare.
So y'all know that we host Read or Dare. This is a celebratory kind of a readathon where we spin a wheel of dares and do these crazy things online. Usually we do it for 24 hours. And yeah, we do it with our friends Noelle and Rachel. And we have a really great time. This year we put in a competitive element, which was whoever can read the most books, they get a tiny trophy. And now that trophy will be passed from winner to winner among the years of Read or Dare. This year the theme was to read down our TBR, our physical TBR. So yeah, that's basically the premise of Read or Dare. We just wanted to read down our TBRs this year, and yeah. What did you start with?
I started with a favorite anime of mine, Jujutsu Kaisen. I had to get my points in early. Like you mentioned, it was getting a little competitive. So I was like, if I knock out one book in the first, twilight hours of this readathon, I will feel comfortable about my standing going in.
I feel like you got really good spins this year too. All of your spins were read whatever you want. Yeah. Pick whatever.
It's just the time was on my side, so I didn't get a lot of reading done when we weren't sprinting, which is, that was my life choice. That was me. Yeah. But Jujutsu Kaisen, it follows our main character, Yuji Itadori. His pretty much ending up going to the Jujutsu Kaisen high school. It's like a high school for people that remove supernatural spirits from the world that people can't see. And he ends up being able to go to the school because he ends up consuming a body part of one of
I remember this.
He's consuming a body part of Sukuna, who's one of like the most powerful crazy spirits. So he has the ability to use his powers. You know, he's like a host for him.
For the greater good.
Yeah. So he is helping the world by knocking out these cursed spirits with a whole gang of people that I love dearly. And the book literally is like watching the anime. Like when I say there was the jokes are the exact same. The like the movements are the exact same. Like they literally took this picture and said After Effects and like moved it around. But I'm sure there's lots more work to it. But anyway, love Jujutsu Kaisen #1. Great choice. And then next, I forgot what the exact spin was, but I got a book that
like TBR Veteran, I think.
Yeah, like a book.
I think it was the one we all had to do.
No, I think I had to close my eyes and pick a book off my shelf.
Oh, okay.
And I picked Bitter Oranges by Claire Fuller. And this was actually surprising. At first I wasn't sure how I was liking it because the premise is a woman is kind of like a peeping Tom. She can see into her neighbor's apartment from the floor of her attic. If she goes to a certain part of her attic, it's first person. She keeps telling us she's not going to do that anymore. And like certain things aren't adding up. When they tell her things to her face, she'll be like, I didn't remember seeing that, you know, when I was watching through the floor. And I'm like, girl, that's weird, but also weird that they're lying to you like that, right? So I was invested. It kind of gave me Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf vibes. If anyone is afraid of Elizabeth Taylor, it felt like a fever dream kind of play, you know. And it was interesting. There was a lot. The ending was not what I expected. I don't know why I didn't expect the ending. Maybe it's because, you know, I was sleep deprived, but like I did not guess where this was going. I was really shocked, which is why I ended up giving it a 4-star.
Nice. Yeah, because I know you're struggling with like.
It took me like a whole day, like like a full day of sprints plus another day of sprints. Anyway, took me a while to get through, but in the end, I did enjoy it.
Bitter Orange. I think I actually ended up spinning TBR Veteran. And on the live, Manda was present and she actually had wanted me to start this book, Guild. This is the Kindle Unlimited, like Raven Kennedy Plated Prisoner series. That is a King Midas retelling. It basically just follows our main character. I forget her name at this time. I think it's like Anna or something.
You don't remember the main character's name?
So it basically follows Arin, who is like a purely gold woman. Like she is all the way gold. Like her skin is gold, hair is gold, and she has these ribbons coming out of her back. She is seen to be one of Midas's kind of like gold-plated treasures, but like really she is like a concubine basically for him. But in recent kind of like days, like weeks, whatever, he's been a little distant and she is in love with him. So she's like, what's happening? Like what's going on? And so it's basically just her story of how she like got into this like plated prison because he essentially locks her up and like doesn't let her talk to people and uses her as kind of like a show pony. So I ended up reading this book, the second book, and the third book, and this is literally what ended up like winning me Read or Dare, I guess, because I had just like sped through these books. They were so freaking like entertaining and good. And I'm gonna tell y'all my new book boyfriends, King Rot. It's King Rot. Is a horrible name. I know. I'm crazy. But he's a fun time. Really, there is not a lot of spice in this first one, so I will say that. People warned me about that. I knew that going in. It was still a fun time for me. I like the retelling. But yeah, it gets pretty intense from the second one on. So it's a fun time. It was a good Kindle Unlimited like segue. And it really sparked me to buy a Kindle.
I was wondering which I did
at the beginning of July, which is a great segue into all the books that we read in July. I guess like kind of just going off of that, I did end up doing a vlog because I went on vacation for the first month of July. I read a ton of books. That being said, I read Barbarian's Redemption, the Zodiac Academy books 1 through 4, Spanish Love Deception, Moth, and I believe that's it. If you guys are interested in all my thoughts and ratings and things on those books, you can click the link up in the cards and you can find out how I felt. It was a fun time. It was a really fun vlog.
And then for me, you know, reading, what is that? I read The Fastest Way to Fall.
As she falls out of her chair.
I was having like not a mediocre, but like I was having a mediocre time, you know. Nothing was really like, whoa, this is amazing. Like, I've had a few, but it wasn't.
You've had a mediocre time with romance? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Like, I don't know. But this one.
I was about to say, I haven't seen you read a romance in a while.
Yeah, the last one, I think the last romance I read was, in this time, I think the last one I had read was either Weekend or the Maiden Half Orcs.
Maiden? Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, I hadn't really been picking up that many, so, like, they were good, but it wasn't, like...
a squeal-worthy Berkeley romance.
Like, it was squealing, but, like, this one just felt so realistic. Like, like it was, like, just enough cheese. Like, you know, I need some cheese, you know? I need some cheese, but not too cheese. It's gotta be a right blend of cheeses. So, this one by Denise Williams. I recommend this one a lot. I recommended it. If you don't know, we have a video recommending movies. If you like this movie, read this book. And this was mentioned. And I'm telling y'all, this is just such a good book. Like, it follows our main character. She's a journalist. She goes and undercover to work on a story at this fitness app. This fitness app CEO is trying to get the spark back in his life, so he decides to go training clients again, because, you know, he's the CEO of the fitness app. And so then they end up, of course, working together. And he just likes talking to her. They just like to talk to each other, so it's got little correspondence emails. I'm like, not the emails.
Wow, this is your bread and butter. Are you talking about work? Are you talking about emails?
I know. I was like, oh my gosh. Heart patter. Pitter patter.
Pitter patter.
Anyway, pick it up, please.
And for me, if it's my drama, I ended up reading this book is a little bit, you know, reminiscent of Reader Dare. This is the second book in the Age of Fall series. Noelle got me the first book last year for Reader Dare. I ended up buying the second and third one because I was obsessed. I was obsessed with that first book. I was like, oh my God, this is so good. Angels coming down in the apocalypse? Yes. I had not felt that excited about a YA series in a while. Picked up this book. We could have skipped it.
I ain't never been with a better.
We could have skipped it, guys. We could have skipped it. I was so bored reading this book. I was like, why are we even here right now? Like, why are the main characters not together? Like, none of it makes sense. This is truly the epitome of a filler book. Like, you know, 2010s filler book. And I hated it. I mean, I didn't hate it, but like, I hated that I read it. That's that. So by the end of this book, everything kind of gets back together and gets back on track. So I'm assuming in the third book, we get some sense made out of this. But what a disappointment. Like, I think I ended up like, I don't even know if I actively hated it, I guess. Like, I would just give it like a 2.5, like a 3, 2.5, 3. Like,
yeah.
I just don't know. Like, why did we have this book, Susan? Why did we have it? Anyway, so that was a little bit of a disappointment. I'm not going to talk anymore about it. Hopefully the third one is good, though. Anyway.
Yeah. All right, so then next, I read, not Martha Wells. I read Martha Wells, which is a great sign for a good book. I read the first book in the Murderbot series, Murderbot Diaries, excuse me. Awesome to read, y'all. Everyone reads it. I know everyone's talked about it, and it's been award-winning. I don't know what awards it won. Lots of them. Hugo and the Nebula Award winner. This is the best book I have.
Said awards? I got them.
Yeah, like, what do you need? Which ones? Like, I'll make sure I win them.
Pass them out.
This was such a good start to a series. Like, I was just raving about Jade City, and this is up there in the sci-fi.
Oh, wow. This is a novella, too, right?
Yeah, this is like the perfect size. Everything about this book is perfect. It is perfect. Like, there was nothing wrong with it. Like, the book is 149 pages, and I was like, dang. It was funny, it was thrilling, it was action-packed, and the ending was great. I'm excited to read the other books. I don't know how long the series is. I hope it never ends. If you know, if it's not, I mean, you know, I trust Martha. I trust Martha, and I think she knows.
It's about AIs, right?
Yes, it's about augmented humans.
Okay.
And then some of them become murder bots. So like they're like called sec units, and they are supposed like they're just like security units. They are used to protect
humans.
Yeah, people that they're like kind of like scientists that explore parts of like space.
Okay.
And so they're like different places. So
they're getting out.
It reminds me a lot of things I like about The Expanse, but like condensed. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, Martha Wells.
Like all the parts I liked about Expanse condensed into 149 pages.
I like it.
I can't say anymore.
So 5 stars.
Yes, perfect. It doesn't need a star. It's like gold standard.
It's one of those things where you just say
there's no stars for this book. Like it's above that. Yeah, like you've got Goblin, and then you've got, you know, Goblin doesn't get rated. It's just
Goblin does not get rated. Like,
it's the standard.
If you want to get into K-dramas, you just watch Goblin. That's number one.
Yeah, like you don't even have to start with Goblin. You just know, like when you
God tier.
When you get
God tier, there you go.
When you get to Goblin, you'll understand. Like
it's a level above every other K-drama. Like it is literally a movie in 7 movies. You know what I'm saying?
The quality.
Like, Goblin is so good.
Yeah, so that is what I want to compare.
So I need to read that. Can I have that?
You have a copy. But you can hold on to mine. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I'm going to let you hold it. You're lucky.
You are so selfish. I so
But she already has a copy on her borrowed shelf. So I don't understand why you need to borrow my copy.
I want to read your copy.
If I find pencil markings, I'm joking. I'm joking about.
Why are you bringing this up? You are just so petty. Let it go. I haven't written in your book since you told me not to.
I know.
You need to forgive me for that.
I forgive you, but
do we need to go to therapy?
I forget. Well, I forget. It's just
forgive me, please.
I'm not even angry about it.
I know you're not angry, but you've got to let it go. You've got to let it go. You need to trust me again.
I trust you.
I don't think you do.
I do, and that's why the book is in your hands.
No, I think the book's in my hands because I have a strong grip.
The book's in your hands because I am a good friend, and the book is
way that way. Friend. Anyway, whatever. I'm not gonna write in the freaking book.
It's perfect. If you end up doing it, it's fine. You'll just, you know, get me another copy.
All right. So that being said, let's talk about 2 other amazing. Actually, the last 3 books I have, knockouts. Okay, they were a fun time. They were a good time. Different times though. Okay, so let's talk about them.
Okay.
The 2 books that I want to mention simultaneously. Chloe Leese. Once again, the day is saved thanks to Miss Chloe Mother Effin Leese. Ah! Okay. So I ended up reading these 2 books. We obviously participated in the Questathon, Readathon last month. And so I was just like blowing through books. I was like, y'all, we about to win this quest. We're going to do it. I mean, Monique did as well. Obviously, we were on the same team. And I will proudly say, the dwarves won, baby. Oh, y'all didn't even know. Y'all didn't even think.
I ain't never been with a baddie.
Dwarf. Oh, I thought you were going to continue. Anyway, so the dwarves won, and I just want to say quick shout out
to everyone.
Yeah, y'all really killed it because it obviously was not just us. It was like 60, 80 y'all, you know what I mean? Or however many.
And we did a lot of reading.
We did a lot of reading. And just so proud of you guys. You really pulled through. But in the vein of that celebratory loveliness, I did read 2 Chloe Leeses because I was like, I gotta read my girl, you know what I'm saying? So I basically have read all of the Bergman brothers that are out now in published. So now I gotta move on to her backlist. But let's talk about this one. So this one follows Aidan and Freya, who is a Bergman sister, right?
Oh,
She's the oldest Bergman. She's the oldest Bergman sibling, and she is already married. So like when the first book starts, it starts with one of her brothers. Freya is already married to Aidan. Okay, they are happily married.
They go back in time.
This one,
it's the second one. I remember the picture because he's on an island here. It all comes back to me when I hear these.
Yeah, so this one is a second chance romance because basically Freya and Aidan have been struggling in their marriage, right? They have a lot of stress in their lives. Aidan has like high anxiety, like very, very high anxiety. And he is kind of like struggling but not telling his wife. So Freya's like, what are you not talking to me about? I'm your best friend. What's going on? And they have like a little bit of an issue. So in that like same like while that's going on, their parents are celebrating their anniversary. And because of that, the kids surprise them with a trip to Hawaii. And the whole entire family goes. Okay. So it's second chance romance. Forced proximity because they're not having a good time, but
they can't
have
let
to be together.
know that they are having trouble.
Right, because they're the first, like she's the first Bergman. Like she's the one who sets the standard for all the other kids, right? And so it really was sweet because I don't really like second chance romances, y'all. Like I don't like them, okay? But I love Freya and I love Aidan. I love Freya and I love Aidan. And like this one, I tabbed up Everything for You, which is her other brother's story, but this one had so many good lessons and like morals and quotes and just like things about like nurturing a relationship and like keeping it going and how like the realities of it are not just, you know, like frou happily ever after. Like you have to actually work for it. And I just like, this book is the one that really opened me up to how like great of a writer Chloe Leese is, because her scope of relationships, like every single one of these books, there's a different trope, different qualities to the characters. Everything is different, and you learn something in every single book. And I think that's why I freaking love these books so much. Like, they're just like,
do I need
so
to read
good.
these in order?
You don't need to, but I would advise you to. Yeah, you'll understand what's going
You're
on.
telling me the one I was going to read is last?
Monique, when you start number 1, you'll blow through these. Like, I read these so quick. I haven't talked about this one yet.
Sorry.
So anyway, Freya and Aidan, they are, you know, going through their thing. And I do think that this book actually does have really good anxiety rep as well. I just think the Charm Offensive is a little bit better. But Aidan, he is such a likable character. Like, I love him, which is great because I was kind of hating him. But then I loved him. And that's how you know it's a good writer. That being said,
we get it. Chloe Lee's stand number. Girl, you can just
Chloe
make shirts.
I'm going to.
Okay.
And she'll be like, you weirdo. And I'll be like, yes, I am. And so then that moves on to the 4th Bergman Brother book, which this follows Axel. And Axel, I've been wanting to read his story for a while. He is like a true blue autistic character. And he has a crush on like one of the other brothers' wives, one of her friends, right? And so Axel likes this girl from book 1. Like, you can tell. And so the whole time through this whole series, I've been like, I need Axel's book because like I need to know what he's gonna do with this girl, because he's like he's having his own internal kind of like feelings, but he doesn't know how to like approach the subject and like broach the subject, right?
Yeah, bring it up.
Right, and bring it up. So what's great about these books is that everything's kind of interwoven, and something happens in the end of that one which leads you into this one, and we get Axel's story finally. He lives up in Washington. He is like a loner. You know, he's taking care of the family's A-frame up there, like doing his little work thing. He's an artist, you know, a lone wolf, some could say. But Miss Rooney doesn't care about that because she really just busts into his life because she also has a crush on him from book 1. And that's really what made me fall in love with these two characters. Like, I just love the autistic rep, as well as the fact that Rooney has a chronic, I think it's a chronic disease is what you call it. So she's got ulcerative colitis, which is a chronic disease of like the bladder and like stomach.
It's inflamed.
Yeah, and it's inflamed. So this is such an interesting thing that she wrote about, because obviously no one really talks about kind of like having these like stomach issues, I guess, as like characters in books, like having these like heroines and like real people having to deal with
actual
chronic diseases, right? And so I just like loved this representation because I thought it was so incredibly real. And like Rooney is like one of the most likable characters. Like, she's this beautiful, hot, like smart scientist, but she has this extra layer of kind of like something that she's dealing with that she doesn't really talk about with anybody because she's embarrassed. She's like, this is embarrassing. I don't want to talk about the fact that like when I need to go to the bathroom, I need to go to the bathroom. So anyway, I hope I'm explaining it well, but this was also a really, really great book. And I just love the setting of like Washington State. Like, just say Washington State and I'm there. Okay, I'm there. I'm in the mountains and I'm there. Really love this book. Chloe Lee's great job. If you guys haven't picked up Bergman's, I'll go ahead and get number 1. So I'm gonna give you this one. You can put that on your shelf. I'm gonna go get number 1. So you can go ahead and
okay.
I'm just gonna come over here. This is the first one. This is a soccer one too. You're gonna really like this one.
August is gonna be the biggest month wrap up I've had in a while.
You have so many good romances to read.
All right, so I, classifying, I love to have strategy. So I did a reread of Spy Family.
Love that.
1. I actually didn't include this in classifying, but I also read Spy Family 2. And I know I bring up Spy Family a lot, but I don't know how it's possible. I don't know what Tatsuya Endo does, but when I say that number 2 is better than number 1, how is it possible? How is it possible?
Only gets better with time.
Yeah, Steph also said, this is Steph's copy, to make sure I return it. But Steph also said that everyone likes number 3. I went to go try and buy it.
Sold out.
Honestly, that's probably who called me. Anyway.
Mark Zenobia.
Yeah, I know. And I don't recognize the number, man, picking it up. Anyway, Spy Family 2, not to say too much, but just brings in some more characters. Maybe a brother-in-law.
What?
Maybe some new students in the school. What? So I don't want to say too much, but
just read Spy Family,
please. Okay, and then I read another graphic novel. Finally, it's been on my list for probably a year, maybe. But this is Noelle's favorite book.
Day Tripper, yeah.
Yeah, I remember finding that out, watching one of her videos. She'll be linked down below. This is Day Tripper, and literally the back of the book says, what are the most important days of your life? The main character, Bras de Olivia Domingos, he's Brazilian. He writes obituaries and he's very good at them, and it's like how he makes his living. But then the story, the vibes are sad. The vibes are sad. It's kind of a way, like you're trying to figure out what days are important to you in your life, and you kind of go through these different memories, you know, and that's why it's called Day Tripper. You're trying to figure out what days in your life are going to be the most impactful for you. That's going to be...
Is it like Midnight Library, or?
It's not like Midnight Library. I'm not going to say the book is all the way sad, but like it's pretty sad. I was not expecting the vibes. That was the vibe. But you can see the things that make the person how they become, and you're trying to figure out like what is going on, because it's kind of trippy. Day Tripper.
Okay.
So you're like, what? How is this all going to connect in the end? And in the end, you're like, wow. So I can see what you...
So was it like the connection that's probably the part that Noelle likes, or why do you think this is her favorite?
I think it's how it's told, personally, because you just keep going, and you're like, okay, and you start figuring out like the trends. You're like, okay, so how is this going to happen? How's that going to happen? And I think the end, it is very impactful. I like the end, and I think that is how I feel like if I didn't like the end, I would not have liked the journey, because it was sad. Some of the parts were sad, but I pick it up.
Just know what you're getting into for that one.
And that wraps up some of the books I read.
Nice. I mean, I've got one more. I'm hoping I remember all the books. Like, I have not been bullet journaling these past 2 months. Just hecticness has been happening. So I'm hoping that I'm covering everything.
If not,
but I will say, yeah, if not, sorry about that.
Sorry.
The last book that I want to talk about, this is a book that we actually just did a sponsorship with, but my opinion is not sponsored. So I want to make that clear. That being said, this was literally one of the best books I've ever read. It was so good.
I heard you squealing.
Yeah, this is, it's so special, I think, because I really didn't know what to expect. Like, people have been talking about it being like Ready Player One. And I mean, like, I guess they both center around gaming, but in my opinion, I liked this one a lot more than that. Like, granted, I read that book a long time ago, but for me, this was like almost the like diverse version of like more character-based story, like a version of that, I guess. But if you're into gaming and like the creation of games and kind of like mildly getting into the gaming world while also being a character-driven reader, then I think you will really, really, really like this book. I do want to make it clear, though, that a lot of people have been saying that there is like a best friends to lovers trope. That is not what it seems. So don't get your hopes up. It's not about them becoming lovers. It's about the journey of them basically from meeting from like the age of 7 to being adults that are like 40-year-olds. And just kind of like how their whole relationship changes over the years because of all the games that they create together, and like how smart they are and how creative they are, so on and so forth. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was
I'm already crying.
Yeah, I cried. And it's really great. It's set in Boston while also LA, like in present time. Yeah, I mean, if you're into like the 80s, 90s vibes, and also having, like I said, a diverse cast, and also having a really great like disability rep, like unexpected, I was like, whoa, this is like knocking it out of the park. Then this book is for you. I highly recommend it. It was a very good time, and I truly did not know what to expect, because I knew the buzzwords, I knew vaguely what it was about, but it was good. It was very impactful. Highly recommend. You did it. You did it.
I've never read anything by this author.
Yeah, I read this for the prompt where like the author was new to you. Apparently she has written other things, which I'll be interested to see like those books.
I've heard of this book, The Stories of the Life of A.J. Fikry.
Yeah, apparently it's like a lot of people like it, but it's just so good. And like once you see kind of like the imagery too for like the background here and like what all this means, like the way things tie together, good time. Awesome. And that's it. Ended it on a very good note.
It. As we go on, we'll remember. Anyway.
All the times we had together.
Thank you guys.
As we go on.
And with that,
we'll remember.
We are ending our video.
All the time.
If you like this kind of vibe, give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below, because we need more song ideas and books and what you're reading. Just communicate with us. We're also in a Discord. All our links are down below.
We had together.
And subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Bye.